We're Trent Allie, and we've been living tiny and traveling the world for the past 3 years, exploring new cultures, cuisines, and some of the most beautiful landscapes we've ever seen. It goes without saying that things have changed since the pandemic began.
For the last time, you guys will probably see it for quite some time. It's not because it's just our home that we're leaving behind. It's because we made it, and it's like very special to us. And it's just kind of sad.
We had to leave our van in South America and come back to the States. The pandemic has altered everyone's plans, but we had a dream in our hearts, and we weren't going to let anything stand in our way. It's been a wild few months, and as many of you know, just 72 hours ago, we also got married. We're getting married!
He's gonna be marrying us.
Oh! Soon?
Right
now.
But our pandemic wedding isn't the only surprise we have to share. We have a story today that's gonna knock your socks off. So come along on our journey, and don't forget to subscribe. It's free, and it's the easiest way to help us out.
We've been keeping this announcement for you guys for almost a year, and we're really excited to finally be able to break the news to you. But first, today's video is sponsored by Bright Cellars. They're going to be providing the wine for today's toast.
Bright Cellars is a monthly wine subscription that delivers wine you'll love from around the world directly to your front door. Take their 7-question quiz online to discover wine you love, and their team will personalize each shipment to your exact preferences.
Oh yeah. So Bright Cellars actually sends you a wisdom card with each box. It basically tells you the serving temperatures, how to prepare wine, how to serve it, how to pair with different things. Any of the little information that you might think you know that you probably don't know.
If you're interested in trying Bright Cellars, click our link in the description and you'll get 50% off of your first box. Thanks again to Bright Cellars for sponsoring today's video. And now for a toast.
To the love of my life for the rest of my life.
Oh, cheers.
And to the
big
surprise today. So this is a pretty long story. Me and Allie are gonna finish our wine, and we'll see you in the morning. So today's announcement is super exciting. It's probably going to be mind-blowing for a lot of you. If you're a patron, you already know about it, so you guys have some inside information. We are really excited to show you guys and tell you guys, and it may seem like it's out of left field, but we've been planning this for almost a year. Are you almost ready?
Yeah, are you almost ready?
I'm getting there.
Do you have your wedding ring on?
I do have my wedding ring on, imagine that. As you guys saw in the last video, or if you didn't catch it, you should go back and watch it. Allie and myself eloped.
We got married!
We got married! Super exciting. However, today is also an incredibly huge, ginormous, crazy announcement, and I'm really nervous, but I'm really excited to show you guys and tell you guys all about it and tell the whole story. But first,
we gotta drink some coffee, and we gotta jump in the car.
I already drank my coffee, and the coffee's
You're
all gone.
Ready to go. Oh, you drink all the coffee.
Yeah, we had a cup.
You had 2 cups.
Yeah.
Trent drinks all the coffee every morning.
Anyway, we're gonna get loaded up. We gotta jump in the truck. We have a little bit of a road trip to go on, and then we can tell you guys all about our big announcement. It is hot. There's a pandemic going on. There's few food choices. I know people are gonna hate me, but I actually don't even like Chipotle, but it's on our way and I need some food in my body because when we get to where we're going, there's gonna be some hard work to do. I know you guys probably saw the chainsaw, the pipes, the wood, and you probably have no idea what we're doing, and that's the point. But we're gonna be there soon, and then you guys will see.
We've traveled all over the world, and it's always so fun to experience new places, but it also makes me realize how lucky we are to live here in Utah. The mountains here and the landscape is just absolutely breathtaking. The entire state, I feel like, has so many different types of terrain and landscapes that you could just explore it forever and never get tired of it.
It actually reminds me of a saying that I used to hear all the time, and it never really made any sense to me, and that's, you have to explore the world to appreciate what's in your backyard. And I always took the mountains in Utah for granted, and I always thought they were just there and it was just normal and yada yada yada. And it really took me like going to Patagonia and seeing like some of the most beautiful landscapes in the world. And then as we came back to Utah and we're driving through the mountains, and it was like, hey, this is like just as cool as Patagonia, and that's just as beautiful, and this mountain is just as magnificent. Utah's pretty cool.
Utah has definitely become a home to me. I grew up in the East Coast in Washington, D.C., and now it feels like we're starting like a real new chapter in our lives. We got married, things are like feeling super real and official. I don't feel like an adult. I hope I never really feel like an adult, honestly, but it does feel different. I don't know how else to describe it, but where we're going right now is the actual new chapter in our lives. I'm terrified, but I can't wait to share it with you guys.
Little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Ooh, let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand.
So where do we start?
We absolutely love traveling. We probably will never stop traveling, but if there's one thing that traveling through Central and South America over the past almost 2 years has taught us, it's how much we appreciate our family here in Utah.
When you travel constantly and you're always on the road, your friends and your family are always at a distance. Now, this isn't to say we're gonna set roots and stay here forever. Like Allie said, we are going to continue traveling, but if there's another thing that this pandemic has taught us,
Yeah.
it's that it's really important to have a good, solid home base. So we decided last July while we were home that this piece of property was gonna be the perfect opportunity for us to build a nice little home base. Now, we live small. We've lived in the van for 2.5 years. We wanted to build something, not a big house, but more like a cabin,
Yeah.
a tiny house in the woods.
So even though what we are planning to build is pretty tiny, it's taken an entire year to work with architects, engineers, county officials. So many different people have come together on this project, and we are so excited to finally be able to share it with you. It has been so hard keeping this a secret. So Trent is I don't know what I would call you, a handyman, a carpenter, a skilled person. Trent's a skilled person, and he really enjoys a challenge.
Well, actually, at first, Allie was saying, we should just build like a cabin, we should build a house. And I was like, there's no way we could build a house. There's way too much that goes into it. It's too extensive. And I think Allie's response was, we built 2 vans, why don't we just build a house? And I was like, absolutely not. As the time went on, I was like, hey, why not? If we mess up, we can just start over. We can hire somebody. Like, let's give this thing a really honest go.
Now, you guys remember, I don't have very much building experience, so when I say, Trent, we built 2 vans, you can build a house, that doesn't mean anything. I have no foundation for saying that.
Where we are located right now is very high up in the mountains in Utah. In fact, the spot that we are sitting at right now is about 20 feet shy of 8,000 feet above sea level. So in the middle of the winter, they get about 8 feet of snow right here.
So of course, not only do we have the challenge of actually building this ourselves, which now Trent has decided we are totally capable of doing on our own. I can barely build a chicken coop, guys. But we also have a deadline now to get things at least dried in before it starts to snow, because once the snow starts, it's gonna be a heavy winter every winter.
And I'm actually gonna have somebody do the footings and the foundation for us so that we can have at least a solid foundation to try and build everything off of on our own.
So actually, this is the last time that we'll be up here with the land untouched. Breaking ground happens in 48 hours.
And this is actually our first time driving up to the property in the snow. 4x4 and chains required ahead.
Uh-oh.
We don't have chains.
That's so cool. Here we are. There's a lot of snow here. I'm really excited. I'm really nervous for how high in elevation it is, how snowy it is. The roads are unpaved and super muddy. I think it's gonna be really difficult, and I honestly don't know what Trent has gotten us into this time, but I think it's gonna be a really fun adventure and a really fun challenge for us.
I'm pretty notorious for biting off more than I can chew, and this is definitely a good example. But we're excited, and we're happy, and that's all that matters. We've had this dream for a really long time. We didn't know how much snow was gonna be here. And there's a ton of snow here right now. Next time we come here, we need to bring snowshoes. We'll see you guys in the future. I'm really not a person that plans. I'm one of those like fly by the seat of my pants type of guys. We came back to my mom's house and I was like, let's get my mom some chickens. Let's build a chicken coop. Like, none of those things were planned.
Yeah.
This, we've been planning for about a year, like 11 months,
Yeah.
which is super insane. And I'm not gonna lie, things like coronavirus and the pandemic really tried to throw a wrench in the gears.
Getting married this weekend was actually a huge coincidence that it happened so close to when we're breaking ground. That was not planned at all, but we have been planning some other family life things in the future, which makes us even more motivated.
Anyway,
to get this house done.
what I was trying to tell you guys a second ago is that the van is stuck in Argentina, so we couldn't live in the van while we were building the house.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been asking for an update on the van. It hasn't moved. It's just sitting in storage in Argentina. This is the whole reason we have been updating and modifying Terry. We're gonna drag Terry up here, and it's gonna be our mobile tiny home that's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna live here on the property while we build the real tiny home.
I feel like we're a little bit crazy. I'm a little bit nervous. We have a very small closing window of how quickly we need to build this before it starts to snow. And the Terry isn't even finished.
We do have probably another 2 weeks of work to do on Terry before she is gonna be ready to live in. However, the excavators and the concrete guys, they've probably got at least 3 weeks of work up here to do before they're ready for us.
Okay.
So I think everything's gonna work out just fine. You guys wanna take a tour?
I'll show you around. A couple days ago, we actually got all the corners of the buildings staked. Buildings? We have some secrets that we'll share later, but the corners of the buildings are staked. Trent's gonna give you a little tour.
All right, so as you guys can see, there are a lot of trees. There's these quakies or aspens or whatever you guys call them, these big white trees. There's big pine trees in the back. That big pine tree is dead, so he needs to get chopped down before he catches on fire. But then there's like tons of scrub oak and grass and flowers and all kinds of things. Pretty much all of it needs to be removed while we build the houses, which is kind of a bummer, but a lot of the big trees get to stay. This big Betsy is definitely going down because right here is the very corner of our tiny house. Oh. I'm literally like, this is the living room slash everything. And then the kitchen is over here. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit difficult to breathe up here. So at 8,000 feet, you don't take in oxygen too rapidly, which means when you do physical activity, it takes longer to catch your breath and rest and all of the things. And this is our life now.
You wanted a cabin in the mountains.
It's gonna be tough because like, as soon as they get done with the foundation, Allie and myself are going to frame the whole thing basically by ourselves, on our own. We might have a couple of people help here and there to stand up walls and do like some of the crazy stuff, but for the majority of it, me and Allie are like the manpower that are gonna build this house. And at this altitude, it's definitely gonna be tough.
If you guys couldn't tell, we're really excited. I'm pretty nervous, but you know, we'll see how it goes, and we're gonna film the whole thing and share it with you, and hopefully it's at least fun for you guys to watch us struggle, but we'll see.
So it's taken us a really long time to get the permits to build here, and we just got them last week. That's why these guys are coming up here to do the excavation this week. And since we have a permit, we can start doing the very first thing that needs to happen.
So today we're gonna get started working on this land. How's
it feel?
A little winded, not gonna lie.
That's impressive. That's a 50-pound bag of concrete. You just carried it from the truck all the way down there.
Yeah.
And we're at 8,000 feet.
I can't breathe.
One small rock for man, one large rock for Trent Allie. All right, so I basically put these 3 self-tapping screws into this pipe because there's nothing to keep this pipe from rotating inside the concrete after we set the concrete. So I put these self-tapping screws in, I'm gonna set it in the hole, we're gonna throw some concrete, some rocks in there, and hopefully it doesn't go anywhere.
Day 1 underway.
All right, that's gonna do it. That's both time-lapse cameras. We got them set up, different angles, aiming at where the house is gonna be dug out in a couple days. We're hopefully gonna be back up here to basically film them breaking ground and be involved in it. We're really excited for that. But if something happens and we don't get back up here, we're gonna have time-lapse footage of it. Looks like Allie took off. I got this box, I got the ladder, and I got a big bucket full of tools and the camera. Not quite sure how I'm gonna carry all this. Oh, never mind. I think Allie's coming to help me.
I'm coming. Oh, it feels amazing in the shade.
Yeah, it does.
It's gonna be hard to get used to this altitude. I can't breathe. I took like 10 steps. Whew.
I'm like actually fine as long as I don't do any hard work.
Oh, that's perfect.
You ready?
I'm so ready.
You want to just carry the ladder for me?
Sure.
All right, let's go. Oh. All right, guys, that is day one in the books. We got the time-lapse cameras set up. The first work here on our property. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. It's actually happening. We've been talking about this for so long, and it's felt like an idea for such a long time, and now it feels real. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is what happens when you plan a year in advance. Things get crazy. I'm super stoked to get started on this project. Hopefully, like I said, in the next couple of days, they'll start excavation. I would love if you guys jump down in the comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're stoked about the tiny house, if you're stoked about the location, about the fact that we're doing it ourselves.
Or if you think we're insane.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed coming along and hearing basically our big announcement. If you guys did, make sure you show us by giving us a thumbs up on this video. Consider subscribing to our channel so you can follow along with the build.
Thanks again to Bright Cellars for sponsoring today's video. Jump down and click the link in our description if you want to take advantage of their deal.
And we will see you guys on the next one.
Adios!
See that? It's either moose or elk poop.
Wow.
One of the cool things about living up here is that there's deer and moose and elk that come roaming through here all the time. We're really excited about that.
Are there bears?
There could be like a black bear. They probably wouldn't be trying to cause any harm, hopefully.
That's cool. Are those cows? Or are they just babies without? That's so cool. Bambi! What are you guys doing in the road?
Little baby deer. Go back and find your mom. She went to the right.
Go to the right, guys.
They're so little, they don't know what to do.
It's okay.
Come on, Mom, go back and find them.
I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey, darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright.